Ready? Here we go. 2-minute daily Devo for Thursday, November 5th. I'm in the Contemporary English Version today, and I'm in a book of the Bible that we don't read a whole lot, in the book of Habakkuk. And Habakkuk was a prophet of God, and so at this time, but this is before Jesus in the Old Testament, the prophets would hear from God. They would then tell God's people what God was saying to them. And here in this chapter, just a little history, the Israelites, God's people, are surrounded by all of these neighboring nations that are not serving God. I mean, they're, a violent people. They serve idols. They're, prideful and all this kind of stuff. And Habakkuk's crying out to God, saying, God, how long are we going to have to deal with this? How long is this going to be going on around us? In verse 14, our verse of the day, he gives us a promise, gives them a promise and gives us a promise. Here's what it is. Verse 14 says, just as water fills the sea, the land will be filled with people who know and honor the Lord. The promise that he gave Habakkuk is one that I feel like he's giving us today, that, we live in a time in our lives when things are not getting better but seem to be getting worse. If you watch the news, if you look on the internet, all this stuff around us in our world, it seems to be doom and gloom. There's people that are dealing with violence, and there's, horrible things happening to children, and starvation, and just all these problems and issues, homelessness that's going on around us. And a lot of it is because there's prideful men that are leading. And God is saying this, that, in the end, I am still in control. And in the end of all this, people are going to know who the name of the Lord is. I will be lifted up. And this is a promise for us that no matter what's going on, if we'll continue to be faithful and follow and serve and do what God has told us to do, we win in the end. Because if you go to the end of the story, which is the end of the Bible, we win. Jesus comes back to take all of the followers of Christ to heaven to live with him forever. So the promise for us is to get through what we're dealing with today by trusting and believing and relying on God, because he wins in the end. That's it. I'll see you guys tomorrow.